What's up, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, I want to talk about some functions of earthing, grounding, that nobody talks about, or that I haven't heard anyone talk about. Earthing, grounding, where we take our shoes off and we have our feet planted to either sand, like at a beach or whatever, or it could be in your yard in the grass or out in the field, whatever. Right now, we know that earthing has the benefits of it betters your mood, your sleep, okay, reduces pain and inflammation, reduces stress, wound healing, immunity, all right. And so, I got a video that I did probably like a couple years ago now talking about the benefits of grounding. So you guys can go to the archives and type in like grounding or earthing, and I got a video talking about that more extensively. Now, so the function of it though that people don't really talk about is, guys, you want to get out and get as much earthing as you can, right? But you want to get it at specific times a day. Like obviously no one can, mostly everybody can't be out, with their shoes off in the grass all day, right? So the thing is, most of us, for those who do practice grounding, they try to get it in as much as possible, right? And naturally, the more time that you can do it, then the more benefits that you probably will see and can get. But if you can't do it, like if you can't do it all the time, if you got other things that you got to do, you have a very busy schedule or a very busy day that makes it harder for you to earth, then one thing you can do is try to block out a certain amount of time each at each point of the day. So morning, afternoon, and late evening. Okay, and I mean if you can at night, you know what I mean, or whatever, get it at night too. But the thing is, guys, because the earth resonates at different frequencies at different times of the day. Okay, that makes sense. So it's certain pulses that the and vibrations and frequencies that the earth give off at say 7 o'clock in the morning that's different from say 1 o'clock in the afternoon and say 7 o'clock in the late evening, right? So the thing is, guys, you want to block off a certain amount of time at each point of the day to be able to get those frequencies, those different frequencies, okay? So you will have the added benefits or better benefits, and you will be more in rhythm. Like we talk about a circadian rhythm, when you, like a wake sleep cycle and things like that. So these things help with your natural homeostasis, overall balance in the body, because these are things that for a long time it was just a part of our life anyway. And so over time, as we become more modernized, right, we get away from these things, and then we start having issues, and then we don't know to relate certain things that we used to do, you know what I mean, or certain things that we do now to why we might not be thriving, okay? Because a lot of people think that the human condition is just something that it is. We don't really look at it like, okay, what's our actual potential? How much better were we? Were we better? And how much better were we, say, however many years ago, right? As a comparison to now, you know what I mean? Are we vastly underperforming? You know what I mean? Or is this our pinnacle? Is this our ceiling? Is this our peak? Right? And so it's a lot of stuff that we stopped doing, and then that we did fall off from in a lot of ways, and we don't attribute it to some of the things that we stopped doing or some of the things we started doing, right? So at certain points and times of the day, it's just going to get you in more of a balance, more of a rhythm. You know what I mean? Picking up those different frequencies at those different times. It gives you more of um, a coherence, okay? It gives you more of a coherence with the earth and everything else in nature. Not to sound too earthy and cheesy, but it's a fact. It's real. You can look at you can go now, and I think they have a few medical studies and scientific studies about earth. Not from this standpoint of like the earth gives off different frequencies at different times of the day, but they do now know about the benefits of like scientifically and medically. Like they have medical journals that have reported and wrote on this, okay, about the benefits of fasting for all the different things that I already listed off or read off, you know, earlier in this video. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, it will catch up, and we just look at it as woo-woo right now, like when I'm talking about with the, you want to be in coherence with the earth, so you want to get those different frequencies and, adhere to those different frequencies at different times of the day, so you can be more in tune. That's the word I was looking for. In tune. It's like you're being in tune. All right, it's like anybody that you spend time with all day, at some point you're going to start becoming in tune with that person, unless y'all just completely out of whack, or because one person's influence is going to influence the other. You know what I mean? So and whoever has the bigger influence is going to be more influential to the other person. So look at it like that. Like, you can't, even if you're out of whack with nature to start off, eventually the more that you earth, you know what I mean, now you're not going to have more influence than the earth itself, right? So therefore, at some point, you're going to start to adhere. You're going to start to change. Your frequency is going to start to change from being in contact with that high level, or I'm using high frequency, but it's not always a high frequency. People use high frequency and things like that, and I got to stop doing it too. It's not necessarily about a high frequency. Everything that's higher is not necessarily better. You know what I mean? So it's more so about the right frequency. You know what I mean? Because sometimes loud music is it's justifiable. Like, sometimes you need loud music. You might have a cookout or a party outside, and the music needs to be at the highest volume that it could be, so everybody can hear it without it being too loud for the rest of the neighborhood or something, right? But sometimes, if you're in the house, then you don't need the volume all the way up. So it's about the right frequency, not necessarily the high frequency. But guys, I think that's good. To reiterate, you want to adhere, you want to be in tune with the earth. The earth gives off different frequencies at different times of the day. All are beneficial to you for different reasons, okay? For different chemical responses in your body, for different chemical stimuli in your body, okay? Because balancing your hormones is another benefit of earthing, okay? So it has a way of calming you down. It thins your blood, you know what I mean? So look into it if you haven't already, or if you already know about earthing, look into that aspect. Well, you're probably not going to be able to find much of that aspect of it, but it just, if you think about it, it just makes sense. And then try it out, and then see if you notice any difference. All right, guys, peace.